Welcome again to another episode of this Uplift Chronicles. Our guest today is not a stranger to this podcast. Is Balfour,
Yes,
and
highly.
Balfour's been here. He's a multi-talented man. One reason I love Balfour is because of his love for the community. He does a lot of things through music,
Yes, sir.
mental health, and then
hmm
also in soccer or football, bring the youth together and people of all ages and try to uplift them in many ways. He's also a soldier, mental health specialist, and then above all, he's my brother as well. Welcome, Buffett, to this. You look nice in your attire, man.
Yes, that's my
Yes.
Rastafari emblem that I can't, it represents the fact that I can't wear my locks
That,
because of a profession that I do. You know, the military probably wouldn't allow me to wear the locks, to grow my locks.
right.
And as my profession as a psychiatric nurse practitioner, I know we don't have a lot of time, but quickly while I was working at in women's prison. That's one of my first places I was working as a professional. And one security officer came up and told me, with my locks at the time, that if she were to be ill on the street, and she wouldn't allow me to take care of her because of the way I was looking, that I looked, you know, you know, the way I looked, the way I presented at the time was drove fear in her, you know.
Yeah.
So that caused me to reflect, and I cut my locks off, and then because I didn't want to create some kind of a you know uncertainty with my clients. Yeah,
Okay.
because I realized through her expression, I realized that a lot of clients would see me looking that way in different ways that I would see myself. Yeah,
That's a lot of sacrifice you have to
yeah,
take.
yeah,
But I think
yeah,
Morgan Heritage did
yeah,
say you
yeah.
don't
You
have to
don't
be
have to
dread
dread to be
to be
Rasta.
Rasta.
It's a
It's the conscience
yeah.
of the heart. So it's
hmm
good. But thank you for the sacrifice you
hmm
continue to do for our community. And today we have a very important topic which it's gonna be fun, and then we're gonna learn. So we're gonna do some cultural exchange. We titled our episode "The Power of Music and
Yes,
Love."
I.
Go. Balfour has multiple musics that he puts out in various streams. So he's gonna fuse Jamaican music. Mostly, I call it reggae, and you most of the time you tell me it's chant, which is good. And I see some African music in it as well because music, believe me or not, I believe it's interwoven in so many things. Yes. So your music cut across different cultures. It's
Yes,
a
sir.
cultural diversity,
Yes,
yeah, within each region in the world.
indeed.
Yeah. So without taking much time, the first I was listening to some of your chants that you have, actually very impressive. I picked and then got your consultation about some of them. So I have one which is dubbed called Love Revolution.
Right.
You want to speak on Revolution a little bit, and
Yeah.
I'll play that too.
Yeah. So, all right. So, the pattern is I speak first and then you play after,
Yeah.
and then I can probably come at the end and talk a little bit. So the theme today, as we've discussed before, is love energy, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And we probably have a lot more love energy to do
Hmm.
too, because I mean, the chants, most of them, my chants entail love. If not, it's not the word love, but it's the energy of love, right? So,
Absolutely.
right. So, love revolution is depicting an image now of where we would like to see the world right now, but we're not there because it is so much hate, so much killing senselessly, and the world just seems to be a very harsh place.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
not that it wasn't happening before, but it seems as if it's happening on a more regular basis right now, where we treat each other with a lack of respect, and we just kill people, injure people, for no reason,
Hmm.
basically. And life is so precious,
Hmm.
yeah, and it's the single most precious gift that we have.
Yeah.
And because life is so precious, then we have to try and take care of life, not just my life, but your life and everyone else. So Love
Absolutely.
Revolution is to try to create this change. And we know it's going to take time, but in this one chant,
Mhm.
it is depicting that change that we would like.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
take it away if you don't mind.
They're
And
right. And just to add
mm,
to that, music actually is very it's a universal language. Where there is hatred and war and stuff like that, music can penetrate different cultures. Yeah, but let me take it away with love, revolution.
yes, I love revolution. This is the love revolution. The only solution. For this world right now, yeah, for this world right now. Oh Lord, Lord. You wanna know what this world turn? Snapshot. This world right now it turned upside down. What is right now is treated as wrong. What is wrong get glorification. Love for life, no more around. Respect for life, nowhere to be found. Easiest thing not be a man kill a man. Killing so prevalent, feelings get numb. Them know if you ever trigger if I have them gun. Locking love and respect like them never get none. Calling her back to the kingdom with the love and respect. Symposium. Love and respect, we want back for everyone. One but the chant is in another song, yeah. Chant along now, chant along now. Love for everybody, all God's somebody. So then it should have been. Imagine what it could have been. It could as it could have been. So you not agree with me? Let's agree to disagree. But then you do it for me, not with all the hate for me. Show love, make you make a see. Show love to everybody. That way. That way, no back way. That way, from the Father, God way. No way them can. All when them say them want, no way them can stop way. That's right. 180 turn we need to make now. Hate we are burn, love we are show. Money must be earned by the sweat of your brow. Treat others how you want them treat you. Can't a kill others and no one get killed too. Love is a learned behavior, please know. You play with fire, it burn your blow out. Please plant up the greens of pot chows. That kill off the goat and the gun the cow. I could not want them run a come kill off with you. I could not buy this away you round ya the show. Peace and love now in our wheels we are grow. Chant along now the people. Chant along now the love be everybody. That's right. Bringing back the love and this ya
Hey,
jalan.
Balfour.
Singing back the love in our chants and our song. Missing Jaja love for so long. See them killing people life like said they I love 1,000, treating people life like say their hearts have frozen. No wonder why. Let's agree to disagree. But then you they wait for me. Show love make you make us see. Show love to everybody that way.
Wow.
Blessings, love,
Wow. Blessings, blessings, blessings. So this chant is actually loaded with
Loaded.
love.
Yes, yes,
And
yes,
then there's
yes.
a lot of stuff you talked about people, earning a living,
Yes,
okay? And
yes.
from, moving forward, not coming backwards and stuff like that.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's a
So,
lot to unpack, but we do always scrap for time, but I mean it's a lot to unpack. So hopefully we can introduce these chants over and over again and I mean try to find different eras of them, the different eras that are rich, and we can share them with
right.
you know.
So tell me, like
Mm.
when you write these songs, what goes into your mind? I mean, is it mostly from personal experiences, or there's multiple things that inspire you to write these lyrics?
Yeah, so it's paying attention to the world,
Mm.
and
Hmm.
really what's happening with the world in a moment in time.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And so the time when I penned that song, that chant, you know, then and now it's basically the same thing. But then, the killings,
Mm.
the ease in which people just go for the gun as a lethal weapon and just
Right.
kill another person, and the frequency in which that happens,
Right.
knowing how life is precious and all these kinds of
Yeah.
things, and thinking to yourself each and every time. So even before the chant, like Love Revolution is a chant that it's going to be applicable all the time,
Yes.
because every time you reflect, every time you see and hear that someone gets killed needlessly, then love revolution is there.
Yeah.
Like we need, because one life is one life too many. That
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of one life being killed,
Yeah. Yeah.
So So yeah, it's not a joke, even though it's kind of comical. But we're really summoning everybody to come to this session, change the mentality and to embrace each other more.
Yeah, so you made a good point. We actually have to keep pushing the message for love and peace and unity in the whole universe.
Yes.
Because there's so much going on just from the ground level in our communities into the on a bigger stage.
Yeah.
There's just so much going. So the world needs a lot of love, and
Yeah.
I believe there's a lot of love in the world.
Yes, and what we're doing now in terms of trying to create content, love content.
Yeah.
I mean, that people can hopefully engage with us, and we can help to influence in a positive direction.
So there is another chant that you made and listened to, Heavenly Love. Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
So heavenly love is literally that. So my idea is that I'm living. So personally, for me, I would like to think that I am living heavenly love on earth.
Yes.
See what I'm saying? Because this is the only heaven I know. And for me, it's like, where are we at now? Gauging the status. Is it more hell like, or is it more heaven like, the way we're living? So the idea of heaven would be being our brothers and sisters keeper, right?
Yes.
And the idea of hell would be the opposite to that, right? And you could say in certain areas of the world, probably we're living closer to heaven. In certain areas of the world, we're living closer to hell in that regard.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then this whole idea of, like, the get rich quick mentality and stuff like that, and then at the expense of people's life is what we're talking about.
Right.
And so seemingly this is happening too frequently, and it's happening in too many places. So I would say, as what that chant is saying right now, that I feel like it's not because it's not my life alone, and it's not my household alone. Right. I want to impact the wider world. And so out there in the wider world, in many places, too many places, we have a living depicting a hellish kind of experience for too many of us. So heavenly love is trying to kind of move away from that, the hellish, thing, and to bring this back to a more brothers and sisters keeper kind of thing. You know what I mean? Where we love each other more. So heavenly love is exactly that. And the first verse is so you're gonna go and play it. So the first verse is in Patois, and then it's telling you how we're so harsh now. You know what I mean? We don't even say good morning to people anymore. You know what I mean?
That's very interesting, because I remember the first time I went to a different community, like a different country, and it was strange to me that people didn't easily greet each other.
Yes.
And when I came from the small village and everything, when I came, everybody spoke in the morning.
Yes.
So actually, as a kid, when
Yes.
you didn't speak to
Yes.
an older person, and then you
Yes.
go home, they report you to your
Yes.
parents, and
Yes.
your parents
Yes, man.
punish you.
Right.
For not saying
And
hello.
America is a great country in many ways. However, America is a great country in many ways. And let me say that first before I say this. And coming to America is actually an experience opposite to what you talk about. And I guess it's in Jamaica, it's small, so it's a more intimate environment. So it's easier for us. So I understand the idea with America because it's so huge. And so, I mean, people are scattered, right? And we have, kind of a almost isolated a lot of times. And even now with the technology, we're even more isolated from each other. And so it's easy to develop that kind of antisocial energy. And that's what's here. You know what I mean? And we crave that. We crave that connection and interaction. And then, but because people, were kind of raised here and in that big space, you find that they've kind of sort of become accustomed to that, way of life where they don't necessarily communicate and as often as they could, and they get comfortable with that. Yeah. And
sometimes what you know is what you know. Maybe
there you go.
If you travel
There you
somewhere
go.
else, you might see
Yes.
something.
Yeah, man. And we're trying to change that because,
Heavenly
Tell you we done if them have to. Everybody know when they run kill me with heart of mother and father, son and a daughter. Don't have to do what in your life get slaughtered. What the hell I stink and I smell. When we are gonna live in heaven and hell. Up to the blind and the dumb can tell that we down in hell and we not live well. Highly. So living such against each other. Having and giving.
Ain't that right?
Get a helping hand. Done with the fighting and killing.
That's good.
Yes.
Heavily.
And
Heavily in love.
yes, heavenly love. And
Yeah.
you can say, let's us all live as one, let's us all live together. And so it's really the second verse is actually creating the picture. So the first verse is actually telling you where we are right now.
Yeah.
So harsh, what I mean? And then the second verse is actually saying, come on, yeah, let's just come closer together, live more loving with each other,
Yeah.
And so I'm eternal with that, as they would say, an eternal optimist in terms of but not just being optimistic, but trying to put the work in it to achieve that.
To achieve that.
Yeah, because I know we're all joined at the hip. If you understand what I'm saying, I know you understand what I'm saying. But because we're one, it's one life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like what impacts you will impact me. You know what I mean? So the idea that I can go in the confines of my home and live good with my biological kids or my immediate family, but it's foolish to think that I'm not impacted by the outside world. And so that's where we have to come now and try to influence the wider world to live positively, because you go out there and you're interacting with people, and then what I mean, what are you contributing? If you claim you know better, then try and do that and model and and so we're using the technology now as it is now to kind of put things out there so that people can understand that hey, we're not giving up, man. Love is it.
Love it is. And actually, one thing I also like about reggae music is the emphasis on love, and self awareness, self conscious, treating each other right. So many reggae artists that I've listened to. I was introduced to reggae at a very early age by my elder brother, who now lives in London. Yes, so I've been listening to it, and it's very enriching.
Yeah.
And you pick a lot of things from the Bible and stuff like that.
Right.
So it's good. It's good to empower people and talk about love instead of just always talking about other devices in the world.
Yes.
Yeah. So when did you write these lyrics? Was it like
this is probably about a year? This is probably about a year or so ago.
Okay.
What I mean? And so it's always going to be positive from me, what I mean? And so you will have little variations here and there, but it's always going to be positive, picking out one aspect of our lives to target and then try and focus on that, what I mean? Right. So it's really conveying the energy of love in different ways. So we talk about love revolution first, and then this one now is heavenly love. So it's basically one of the same.
Yeah.
What I mean? So we're trying to change from, hate to love.
Yeah.
And then when we have an environment of more love, then that's more of a heavenly thing,
Yeah. And so, I'm very grateful that you came here to this platform to actually, promote or advocate for love and social change and equality and all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's synonymous. Love and upliftment.
Yes,
what I mean?
I appreciate
what name me another more uplifting energy than love,
Yeah.
As you can say, love, chant, and rant is here too. So the love, chant, and rant is basically an energy that I came up with, and the expression, what I mean, in terms of to encapsulate my chant and what they're trying to do. And it's the same thing. So I don't, and that's the thing.
And it's good because spinning a rant with positivity, because most of the times when we hear people rant, like that's a bad thing. But saying love, chant, and rant, that's a good one.
Man. Yeah. I mean, in the Bible, the image of God, or the representation of God, Jesus Christ, I mean, it was many times depicted of in an agitated fashion, with things that he saw at the time that weren't going the way it was supposed to. And whether it's true or not, because I wasn't living in those times, but it makes sense. It's a good guide for me. You understand? In terms of,
is your picture quality good?
Yes.
Okay.
Mine's good. So I try to embody that and live that and model that for people, and not just with the chants, but because I don't want to lose myself within this artistic idea. because life is bigger than anything else.
Yes.
So I want to live it as much as I'm trying to, develop an art form,
Yeah.
and to express love, in that manner.
Yeah.
However, in my daily course of living, it should be the same.
The same. Everywhere you go, we exemplify our life.
Yeah, man. People are watching,
Yeah, people are watching every step. So I've played football with you, soccer. They call it soccer here. And one thing that I see you and I observe a lot is because we played with some people who are younger than us, right? But one thing I see you do is always sow seed of love. Seed of love.
I wait to plug, but yes,
Yeah.
good
And I saw
introduction
that.
segue.
I've seen that. And then I think, was it before COVID? There was another chant that you also did. It was more about the youth, also talking about love. You were over there, you were sowing seed of love again. You are full of love. But I was curious when I look at through your chants, there was one we said seeds of love.
Seeds of love.
Tell me more about that one.
So Seeds of Love, I can remember the place where I was at the time. I was in Texas.
Okay.
On a military journey in Texas.
Right.
And this idea came up. And, like everyone on my chance, when they come to me, the inspiration, then I get kind of really hyped, because it's a new melody. I remember Buju Banton saying one of the times, a famous, artist from Jamaica.
I respect Buju. Yeah, Buju, great artist.
And Buju was saying, someone had asked him, like, which aspect of the music you like most? Do you like the creation of it, or do you like the live performance? And then he says the creation of it. Because when he's creating it, it's like it's a new child, it's a baby, I mean, so you're just introduced to the baby for the first time, the birth, and you be like, whoa, so adorable, Right. It's the same thing. Sometimes I look at my chants as my kids.
There you go.
So many 60 odd kids I have, and then so sometimes you might take some of them for granted the older they become. And then you have to kind of shake yourself up and say, no, and so a program like this now is beautiful because it allows me to revisit them and to see the greatness in them, and not to take them for granted, because sometimes you tend to do, because I continue to create new ones.
Yes.
And then so as these new ones come, then almost I forget about those older ones, but those older ones are gems just the same. You know what I mean?
But do you realize how many lives you've touched just on the soccer, on that soccer field? Because over the years that I played, there's a lot of people have come and gone, people have moved that way, and each of them is, Balfour? Yeah, I know Balfour. So it's very impressive.
And we're gonna do one for dedicated to soccer, because I have two recorded soccer chants and I have a freestyle soccer chant that hasn't been recorded yet. So we have 3 soccer chants that we can to the people.
Absolutely.
So we have something exclusive for that.
Yeah.
But Seeds of Love, you're absolutely right. It's a journey. It's not just in the moment, it's over time. Right. So you have to have patience. You might say something and you might do something and someone might not find the sense in that at the minute. And because of what's happening right now with the instant gratification and all these kinds of things, and so but you have to know what you're doing, and know that there is a deep meaning and a deep love in what you're doing, and so just stick to it.
Let me play a little bit of the seed of love, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go into it. Take it away. Seeds of love. Nothing else in the world you go on.
Listen to the youth of them
call body chant.
Love in a nigga,
Up love plant.
love plentiful,
Prevalent than water.
too much I get slaughtered, life I get shorter. Love me giving it plentiful, that brother. To control them head, bring back love and
Laughter.
Doing the
Seeds of love. So them.
doing the deeds
Of love.
deep in the weed. Be careful of the finger
Pointing.
Only be cheerful of the
Right thing.
Now with the killing
And fighting.
lights from our loving
And uniting.
sowing the seeds of love, doing the deeds of love, deep in the weeds and truth keep planting
Of the trees of love. The world need a junior.
Sorry,
Gonna come sooner, yeah. Look
man, I bring it till thy kingdom come. Not only just some. Too much I got girl with hard jobs and gun. And Russia yet still one launch nuclear bomb. Like a fashion and hate shit as one. Step to me love, fetch another love song. Tell you world it's an illusion. Love is the only solution, yeah. So in the streets of
Pull it up, Mr. Selectors, they would say. Yeah. You can't stop it, Poof, because we're running out of time and I don't want you to miss your favorite chant. The chant in love. But I want to say something with this one.
Yeah.
You know, see a touch on Russia,
Okay.
you know, and the nuclear bomb. I don't know if you pick up that line in there. Yeah,
Not
so,
really,
so,
but
so,
yeah.
so there's a line in there about Russia and the nuclear bomb, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah,
that's
you have to teach me part one.
and yes,
I
yes,
try to
yes,
pick
yes,
it
yes.
up.
And that's
Sometimes I miss
yeah.
it.
And so and so it encapsulates a lot of you know, a lot of things with that, and so it's applicable to even now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because not just Russia alone, but other, you know, governments. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah.
And everybody, everyone.
And what's going on around the world right now?
Yes.
That's a little bit scary with
Yes, a
some
little bit
everybody
scary. Yeah.
flexing
Scary
their
stuff.
muscles and stuff like
The
that.
idea of having a full-fledged nuclear war now is just
We pray
yeah. And
against
so
that. We pray
that's
against
why
that.
we have to be more vocal now and kind of create this love
Awareness.
revolution,
Yes.
you know, and this awareness and
Yes.
plant the seeds. And so, because it's the common man seemingly right now is going to have to save the world.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
you know, governments made up of human beings that have become so powerful
Yes.
without checks and balances seemingly right now just want to, you know, on the verge of.
Yeah. So you're right about that. So all this stuff have to centralize to something, and God, you Jah,
Yeah,
right?
hello.
Yeah, it's at the center of everything,
Yes.
watching everything and stuff like that. So you had a chant,
Mhm.
Jah love. Briefly about Jah love.
So Jah love, you know, so it doesn't really matter who I see Jah as, but for me, you know, Haile Selassie has been a very inspirational figure for me. So I get a lot of my spiritual inspiration from his work. You know, I mean, his speeches and the way he governed, you know, majority of his way that he governed. And then Bob Marley and my upbringing in the churches and all these kinds of
Right.
things. So Jah is another name for who I see as God.
Yeah.
And ultimately right now for me it's the giver of life, whomever that individual is. And
Okay.
so that's love.
Yes.
You know, because it's the single most precious gift I have. So whomever. So Jah love is speaking to that energy, that God energy within inside.
And then you took that Jah love, and then also you made one with chanting love,
Chanting
which is
love.
one of my favorites. What brought up
So
chanting love?
chanting love now is just what I do. You know what I mean? So it's chanting love. And I can probably, you know, sort of, I don't know, close out a little bit with chant, but this is what I do. So I'm just get a little a cappella to just to close out, you know. Rasta love chanting. Straight back till the morning. Jah love will always win. Jah love I always bring. Me chanting love, me ranting love, me born in love, me gone in love. You can't win love. Love already born win. Come everybody all in. Only with love. Everybody all win. Chanting love. Me chanting not a gimmick, not a circus. Me chanting always with a purpose. Me chanting filled with lyrics and with verse plus. Me chanting always to love, not to hurt us. Me chanting, anytime you see me, me love chanting. Chanting or singing, me love ranting, love me always bringing, never found wanting. No matter if you do what me keep on bring. Now what you we chant, you can't win love. Love already born win. Come everybody all in. Only with love. Everybody all win. Chanting love.
Everybody all win.
Everybody all win.
Hey, Balfour.
Yes.
I can't thank you enough.
Yes, sir.
You know, for being here. I really appreciate you being here. But before I sign off with our audience and everything, what final message briefly do you have? And then if somebody wants your music, how can they get that?
Message, one word. Guess what
Love.
it is. Yes,
Love.
love.
Absolutely.
And then it's Balfour Gore, the channel.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
It's Balfour Gore at Love Chant and Rant. Balfour. I don't know. My father gave me such a long, name. Gore. Balfour
We have
Gore.
longer names in Africa.
Yeah. At Love Chant and Rant.
There you go.
Yeah. So
Thank you
you
so
know what I mean.
much. Thank
Yes,
you
man.
so
Respect
much.
and love to the world.
Respect.
Yes.
God bless.
And
to our listeners, thank you for tuning in. We hopefully you enjoyed this episode with the Balfour, our soldier, musician, and what have you, multiple talented man. Please don't forget to check us on our YouTube channel. Also, don't forget to subscribe and like and
Yes.
comments. We want to hear from you.
Yes, subscribe. Uplift Chronicles, Love Chant and Rant.
Absolutely.
Balfour Gore. Blessings.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Upliftment and love, synonymous.
Yes. Thank you and catch you soon.
Blessings.
This is the Uplift Chronicle signing
Highly.
off. Kofi Dake.
Rasta love chanting, straight back till the morning. Jah love will always win. Jah love I always bring. Me chanting love, me ranting love, me born in love, me gone in love. You can't win love. The love already born with. Come everybody all in, only with love. Everybody all with, chanting love. Me chanting not a gimmick, not a circus. Me chanting always with a purpose. Me chanting filled with lyrics and with verse plus. Me chanting always to love, not to hurt. Me chanting. Anytime you see me love chanting. Chanting or singing, me love ranting. Love me always bringing, never found wanting. No matter if you don't give me love, me keep on bring. No watching me, ashing me, no gallivanting. Certain things, me no in me, no boost ranking. Like this jamming, skimming and the bag a gang thing. No real big man, no get up till another man thing. A real big man, no in the one bag a gang thing. We are all one king, so help me and sing. We are all one king, so help me and sing. Help me and sing. Me chanting love, me ranting love, me born in love, me gone in love. You can't win love. The love already born with. Come everybody all in, only with love. Everybody all with, chanting love. Me chanting not a gimmick, not a circus. Me chanting always with a purpose. Me chanting filled with lyrics and with verse plus. Me chanting always to love, not to hurt. Love me a chant. Listen, Balfour him is the real love savant. Give them the love chant and then the love rant. Love always win it, always relevant. No come here to teach, we no come here to dance. No come here to please every soul cause we can. We cater to needs, we not cater to wants. You treat primitive, our love is advanced. So our love we a give in abundance. So just jump up big and do the love dance. Strictly love we a give. Strictly love we a live. Strictly love we a give. Strictly love we a live. Chanting love, me ranting love, me born in love, me gone in love. You can't win love. The love already born with. Come everybody all in, only with love. Everybody all in, chanting love. Me chanting love, me ranting love, me born in love, me gone in love. You can't win love. The love already born with. Come everybody all in, only with love. Everybody all in, chanting love.